My name is Jennifer, and the biggest regret of my life is advising my father to marry another woman after my mother died. I never knew everything would go terribly wrong. Now my stepmother treats me like she doesn't want me alive, and even my own father has changed. I honestly don't know what to say about him anymore. Hello, our dear viewers. Before the story begins, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And let us know in the comments, the country, where you're watching from. Jennifer stood quietly in the small sitting room, still wearing her school bag. Her voice trembled as she looked toward Victoria. "Ma, please. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything since morning. We went to school without breakfast. Please, just a little food," she said softly, almost whispering. Victoria turned sharply, her expression cold and unkind. "Food your father provided, right? Answer me," she snapped. "The only food in this house is meant for Sophia, my daughter. For you there is nothing. Maybe when your father returns from work you can beg him." Tears began to run quickly down Jennifer's cheeks. She held her stomach in pain. "Ma, please. I beg you. My stomach is hurting. Please, just a spoon of rice," Jennifer pleaded. "You better go and drink water, or I mind the one that caused the death of your mother," Victoria said without pity. "That's all you deserve." Near the dining area, Sophia sat comfortably at the table. In front of her were 3 different plates of food: rice, beans, and fried plantain, still hot and smelling delicious. Victoria smiled proudly as she served her more. With the last strength she had, Jennifer moved closer. "Sophia, please." "Just a little. I feel dizzy," she whispered. Sophia looked up slowly, her face proud and heartless. "This food is not enough for me," she said, pushing the plates closer to herself. "Go away." Jennifer's legs weakened. The room spun around her. She held onto a chair for balance, breathing heavily. Her stomach growled loudly from hunger. Victoria laughed and turned away like nothing mattered. "Next time, learn how to be useful." "Now move aside," Victoria said, lifting her cup of juice. Jennifer leaned against the hallway wall, tears falling quietly. In her heart she whispered, "One day, she will regret everything she's doing to me. I may not have a mother anymore, but God is watching. My pain will not be forever." The evening breeze pushed gently through the small window as Jennifer sat on the edge of her bed, hugging an old framed picture tightly against her chest. Tears washed down her face like rain as she stared at the smiling woman in the photograph. "Mom, why did you leave me?" she whispered shakily. "Why did you go and leave me in this kind of life? I miss you so much." Her shoulders trembled, and she wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. But the tears kept coming. She pressed the picture to her forehead, breathing heavily. "I don't know how long I can take this, Mom. I wish you were here." Suddenly, the bedroom door opened without a knock. Sophia walked in with her hands on her waist, a proud smirk on her face. "So this is where you're hiding?" she said. "Mom said you should come and wash the plates, wash the clothes, clean the kitchen, and sweep the sitting room. She needs everywhere shining before she comes downstairs." Jennifer sniffed and wiped her tears quickly, trying to look strong. "I just need a minute," she murmured. "Oh, please don't start crying again," Sophia replied. "You think crying will change anything? If you cry from now till next year, nothing will happen. You're not special. Get up and go do your work." Jennifer stood slowly, still holding the picture of her mother close to her chest. "You enjoy seeing me suffer, don't you?" Sophia rolled her eyes. "Suffer? You call ordinary chores suffering? You act like you're a princess. Anyways, that's your business. Just don't keep Mom waiting." Jennifer looked at the picture one last time and whispered under her breath, "Mom, give me strength." Jennifer stepped out and began the chores silently, washing plates with shaky hands. She wiped her tears quickly so they wouldn't fall into the sink. Meanwhile, Sophia sat comfortably in the living room, laughing loudly at the TV, stretching her legs on the chair, completely relaxed and enjoying herself, not caring about the pain Jennifer was going through. Victoria acted harshly because she was rich and the one funding the family, even supporting Christopher, Jennifer's father, and his business. He had very little power over her in the house. "She is tough and heartless," Victoria ruled with an iron hand. Christopher had married her after the death of Jennifer's mother, but her wealth gave her control, and she used it to treat Jennifer cruelly and unfairly every day. The next afternoon, after college school, Jennifer gathered courage and walked into the living room where her father, Christopher, was sitting, reading a newspaper. Her heart pounded heavily. She wiped sweat from her palms and stepped closer. "Daddy, please, can I talk to you?" she asked quietly. Christopher lowered the paper and looked at her with tired eyes. "What is it again?" Jennifer swallowed painfully. "It's about Victoria," he sighed immediately. "What about her?" Jennifer's voice shook. She treats me badly. She doesn't give me food. She punishes me for everything. She insults me every day. And she makes me do all the housework alone. I'm trying my best, but she hates me for no reason. Please talk to her. I'm tired. Christopher stared at her for a moment, then shook his head. Jennifer, you're always complaining. You're always looking for excuses not to do your responsibilities. You're lazy, that's your problem. Jennifer's heart stopped. Lazy? She whispered. Daddy, you think I'm lying? I don't want to hear anything more about Victoria, he said more firmly. She's the one holding this family together. Stop making problems. Jennifer felt something inside her break. She looked into her father's eyes and realized there was no space for her voice. I just wanted you to hear me, she whispered. I thought you would believe me. At that moment, the front door opened and Victoria walked in with her handbag. She paused when she saw Jennifer standing there. What is going on here? She asked. Jennifer didn't wait for an answer. She picked up her bag and walked away silently, refusing to let Victoria see the tears building in her eyes. Victoria dropped her bag on the table and walked over to Christopher. What was she saying? She asked. Nothing important, Christopher replied. Just unnecessary complaints. Victoria smirked and sat down next to him. Good, I actually wanted to talk to you. I've been thinking. I want us to change Sophia's school to a better one. A private school with better teachers. She deserves better opportunities. Christopher rubbed his chin. But what about Jennifer? Shouldn't we move both of them? Victoria laughed lightly. Both? Christopher, be realistic. We're not financially stable right now. Why waste money on Jennifer's school? She's fine where she is. That public school is enough for her. Christopher hesitated. Are you sure? Of course. Jennifer is already managing. And you know we don't have enough to sponsor 2 students in a big school. Let's focus on Sophia. She's the one who can make us proud. Christopher nodded slowly. You're right. Let's do it that way. Victoria smiled victoriously. Good decision. She leaned back comfortably. Jennifer will remain in her school. She doesn't need anything expensive. She doesn't bring value. So why invest in her? Christopher said nothing, but his silence was agreement. In the hallway, unseen by them, Jennifer stood quietly, listening to every word. Her heart pounded painfully as she covered her mouth to keep from crying out loud. She turned away and walked slowly to her room, her steps heavy like she was carrying the world. Few days passed by as the mansion gleamed under the afternoon sun, and Victoria invited her best friend Cynthia to come visit her. The moment Cynthia entered, she was greeted by the warm laughter of Victoria, the rich furniture, and the sparkling chandeliers. But as she settled in, she noticed something that immediately caught her attention. Jennifer moving hurriedly up and down the mansion, her arms heavy with baskets of laundry. Victoria, why is Jennifer running around like a servant? Cynthia asked, raising an eyebrow. Isn't Sophia supposed to help her? She's just sitting there in the parlor with us, laughing and watching the movie. Victoria tilted her head, a faint smirk forming on her lips. Oh, Cynthia, that's nothing to worry about. Jennifer is here to work. Sophia, she's free to do as she wishes. That's her right as my daughter. She doesn't need to lift a finger if she doesn't want to. Cynthia frowned, clearly uncomfortable. But Ito, isn't it spoiling Sophia? Jennifer is doing all the chores herself. She's washing clothes, going to the market, sweeping the entire compound. Shouldn't Sophia learn responsibility? Victoria waved a hand dismissively. Responsibility? That's not your concern. Jennifer is here to serve. That's how it has always been. Sophia is free to enjoy her life. She can relax, laugh, watch TV, and chat with friends. Jennifer? Well, that's her job. Jennifer passed by, carrying a basket of clothes so heavy it made her knees shake. Sweat glistened on her forehead, her arms trembling from exhaustion, yet she kept moving. Sophia stretched her legs lazily on the sofa, laughing at a joke Cynthia had made. Cynthia shook her head, whispering to Victoria, Honestly, I don't know how you can let this continue. Sophia will grow spoiled, and Jennifer, she's suffering while everyone just watches. Victoria only smiled faintly. Let her suffer if it keeps the house in order. Jennifer knows her place. Nothing else concerns her. Jennifer moved on, determination flickering in her tired eyes as she whispered to herself, One day, things will change. Cynthia looking troubled, Sophia lounging carelessly, and Jennifer disappearing around the corner, still obediently carrying out every chore, while Victoria sits back, perfectly satisfied with the order of her mansion. A few weeks later, Jennifer returned home from college, her heart pounding with excitement. She had studied hard for her first semester and was eager to show Victoria her results. They were college-level decision grades, reflecting her performance in her classes. Please look, my results are out, Jennifer said, trying to hide her nervousness, but unable to contain her excitement. Victoria, reclining on the sofa with Sophia nearby, glanced at her lazily. Let me see, she said, her tone casual but distracted. Jennifer handed over her result, and Victoria's eyes skimmed over the numbers. Her face froze. The grades were impressive, better than she had expected, and far higher than Sophia's results. Sophia, proud of herself, walked over, holding her own result with a grin. See, Ma, I did well too. Victoria glanced at Sophia's result and then back at Jennifer's. Her chest tightened, and a rush of anger surged through her. How could Jennifer, the girl she considered lazy and beneath her, outperform her own daughter? Without warning, Victoria snatched Jennifer's report card, tearing it roughly into pieces. The paper crumpled under her furious grip as she squeezed it tightly and flung the fragments across the room. Jennifer froze, her eyes wide with shock, staring at the remnants of her hard work. How could you do better than Sophia? Victoria hissed, her voice trembling with rage. How could you overshadow my daughter? How could you do better than Sophia? Victoria shouted, her voice shaking with anger. She held Sophia tightly by the arm and dragged her closer. You see now? You have disgraced me. You allowed her to have a better result than you, she snapped, her eyes burning with rage. Come with me, Victoria said harshly, pulling Sophia by the hand. Without another word, Victoria and Sophia walked away from the sitting room together. Jennifer remained standing alone, tears running down her cheeks, staring at the crushed paper on the floor, her heart trembling between pain and silent strength. Few days passed. Jennifer lay weakly on her bed, breathing heavily. Sweat covered her face and her hands shook as she tried to sit up. She pressed a hand against her forehead, feeling the heat burning through her body. Suddenly, she rushed toward the bathroom sink and began vomiting painfully, holding onto the edge of the sink to stop herself from collapsing. Footsteps approached quickly, and the door opened. Victoria stepped inside, stopping at the doorway with her arms folded and an annoyed expression. What is going on here? Victoria asked sharply. Jennifer wiped her mouth, struggling to speak. I don't feel well, she whispered, her voice weak. Victoria walked closer, staring at her with disgust. Well, what is this nonsense? Are you sick or pretending? Jennifer tried to stand but almost fell. I'm really sick. I can't even breathe properly. I've been working too much and I haven't eaten. Victoria's eyes widened slightly when she saw Jennifer vomit again. Then her expression changed, anger mixed with accusation. Oh, I see now, she said coldly. So this is why you've been acting strange. You're pregnant. Jennifer froze. What? No, I'm not pregnant, she cried weakly. I'm just tired. Please, I'm only sick. Don't lie to me, Victoria shouted. Look at you. Vomiting, weak, swollen eyes. These are all signs. Who is responsible? Tell me right now. Jennifer shook her head desperately. No one. I've never... Victoria, please, I'm telling the truth. Victoria scoffed loudly. You think I'm stupid? Do you think I don't know the signs? I swear I'm not pregnant, Jennifer whispered, tears falling. I just need rest. Please believe me. Victoria turned away angrily. Save your explanation. I will not allow you to bring shame into this house. She pointed at her with a cold glare. Just wait until your father hears this. She stormed out of the room, slamming the door. Jennifer slid down to the floor, shaking uncontrollably. Why is she doing this to me? Jennifer whispered through tears. What did I ever do to deserve this? Mom, I miss you so much. Please help me. She wiped her tears slowly, hugging her knees as her body trembled from fever and pain. Meanwhile, Christopher sat in the living room, surrounded by files and financial documents. He rubbed his forehead, exhausted from work pressure. He barely noticed Victoria storm into the room until she dropped onto the sofa aggressively. We need to talk right now, Victoria said firmly. Christopher sighed. What is it this time, Victoria? I'm busy. No, you're going to listen, she snapped. Your daughter Jennifer is pregnant. Christopher looked up quickly, shocked. Pregnant? What are you talking about? Victoria leaned forward. I saw her vomiting. She's weak, she's shaking, her eyes are swollen. I know pregnancy symptoms when I see them. Christopher frowned deeply. Victoria, vomiting does not mean pregnancy. She could just be sick. Maybe she's tired. You're defending her? Victoria hissed. Open your eyes. That girl is becoming a disgrace. Instead of being serious with her studies, she has gone to mess up her life. I don't believe it, Christopher said firmly. Let's take her to run a test first. I won't accept accusations without proof. Victoria laughed mockingly. A test? For what? I am a woman. I know these signs. There is nothing to test. Christopher shook his head slowly. Victoria, please calm down. She may just be stressed. Enough, Victoria shouted. She will destroy your name. She will destroy this family. She will ruin the little respect you still have. She is a curse. Christopher swallowed hard, breathing shakily, clearly torn inside. Victoria continued, pushing harder. Listen, ever since her mother died, she has been nothing but trouble, crying every day, complaining every day, bringing sadness into this house. Now this pregnancy? I am tired. Christopher put his face in his hands. What do you want me to do? He asked weakly. I want her out of this house, Victoria said coldly. Let her go and meet whoever is responsible for the pregnancy. She has no place here anymore. Christopher's heart tightened. The room went silent for long seconds. He looked at the floor, defeated. You know our business is falling, Victoria continued. I will not watch a foolish girl destroy everything we've worked for. I will not allow another woman's child to ruin my home. She must leave. Christopher's voice broke. She is my daughter. Victoria glared at him. Not anymore. Since her mother is gone, she is your problem alone, and I am done with it. Christopher paused, struggling inside. Then quietly, hopelessly, he whispered, Fine, if that is what you want. Victoria smiled coldly. Good, I will deal with it myself. She stood and walked away triumphantly. The following day, Jennifer was lying on the bed, curled up under the blanket. Her body was still weak and trembling from fever through excess of work. The room was quiet, but that silence didn't last long. The door flew open, and Victoria stormed in, her eyes sharp and dangerous. Behind her, Sophia followed closely, her face showing determination, ready to support her mother. Without saying a word, Victoria began yanking Jennifer's clothes, shoes and bags out of the wardrobe, throwing them onto the floor with a force that made Jennifer jolt awake. What are you doing? Jennifer asked weakly, trying to push herself upright. Why are you throwing my things? Victoria ignored her, snatching more of her belongings and piling them haphazardly. Sophia stepped forward and added, You've caused enough trouble already. You don't deserve to stay here another day. You bring shame to this family. Jennifer's tears began to flow freely. Please, it's not what you think. I'm not pregnant. I'm only sick. I had a fever. I've been stressed and tired. I would never... Don't lie to us, Victoria shouted. I saw everything yesterday. You were vomiting, your eyes. The signs are clear. You think you can bring shame into this house and get away with it? Sophia moved closer to her mother, nodding fiercely. She can't stay here. I can't watch her ruin everything for us. She's not supposed to be here. Jennifer's heart sank. Sophia, please. You know I'm telling the truth. I'm not pregnant. Please don't do this. You're my sister. Don't let her do this. Victoria turned sharply to her daughter. You need to understand, Sophia. She has no place here. Stand aside, she'll learn her lesson on the street. Sophia smirked coldly. I'm standing right here, Mother. I won't let anyone defend her. She has no right to stay, and I'll make sure she leaves. Jennifer's knees wobbled, and she fell to the floor, trying to hold her stomach. Daddy, please, help me, she sobbed, looking at the doorway. Christopher stood there silently, watching the chaos unfold. Jennifer scrambled to her feet and ran to him, grabbing his arm. Please, Daddy, I didn't do anything wrong. I swear I'm not pregnant. Please don't let them throw me out. Please don't abandon me. Christopher looked down, his face pale. Jennifer, I don't know what to do anymore. Your mother is gone and now I'm exhausted. I can't fight all this. No, Daddy, please. I didn't do anything, Jennifer cried, pressing her hands against his chest. Please believe me. Victoria stepped forward, dragging Jennifer toward the door. Stop begging him. He has said enough. It's useless. You will not stay here another night. Stand up and leave. Sophia moved beside her mother, her voice firm. Come on, Jennifer. You're finished here. Leave before it gets worse. Jennifer tried to hold on to her father again. Daddy, please! Please don't let her do this. I have nowhere else to go. Please! Christopher swallowed hard and looked away, silent. His lack of response broke her heart further. Victoria called loudly, Daniel, come help her. The gatekeeper arrived, looking confused and hesitant. Victoria pointed at the scattered bags. Take everything outside and make sure she goes. Tonight she leaves. Daniel stepped forward slowly. Madam, it's late. Maybe we should wait till morning. Victoria's eyes blazed. I said now. Drag her out if she refuses. Jennifer screamed, trying to pull back, falling to her knees. Daddy, please! Don't do this. Please, I'm begging you. I've done nothing wrong. Sophia pushed Jennifer lightly, forcing her forward. Stop wasting time. You're done here. Go. Jennifer's tears fell freely as Daniel lifted her bags, and she struggled to get up. I have nowhere else to go. Daniel held Jennifer's bags and gently led her toward the gate. Jennifer's feet dragged against the ground as she tried to resist, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her voice shook uncontrollably. Daniel, please, she whispered, gripping his arm tightly. Help me talk to my father. Please beg him for me. He didn't even listen to me. He just believed everything she said. Daniel stopped walking and turned to face her. His eyes softened with sadness. Jennifer, I wish I could do something. I really do. But I can't. You know how Madam gets when someone goes against her. If I interfere, I might lose my job. But Daniel, she cried, I'm not pregnant. Why would she say that? Why didn't my father ask me twice? Why did he just stand there and watch? Daniel sighed deeply and shook his head. I don't know. Maybe he's confused. Maybe he's afraid. Madame Victoria has too much control over him right now. Jennifer wiped her nose with the back of her hand, trembling. She took him from me. Since my mother died, she turned him into someone I don't recognize. He doesn't even see me anymore. Daniel looked down, his voice low. I know, I've seen everything. But my hands are tied. I can't fight your stepmother. She is too powerful here. Just help me talk to him, she begged desperately. Tell him I was just sick. Tell him it was fever, not pregnancy. Tell him I didn't do anything wrong. Daniel looked away, unable to hold her gaze any longer. His voice cracked slightly. If I talk, she'll throw me out too. And I have a family that depends on me. I'm sorry, Jennifer. I can't. More tears ran down her face. So my own father doesn't want me? Daniel sighed heavily. Give him time. Maybe later he will understand. For now, you have to leave. Please stay strong. They reached the big iron gate. Daniel hesitated a moment, staring at the ground as if searching for courage. Then he unlocked it slowly. Jennifer clutched her bag tightly against her chest, her heart pounding with fear. She looked back at the house one more time, hoping the door would open and her father would call her back. Nothing happened. The silence hurt. Daniel whispered gently, Please be careful. I pray God protects you wherever you go. Jennifer stepped outside. The night wind hit her face, cold and sharp like betrayal. Daniel closed the gate behind her. The metal slammed shut, echoing across the empty street. Daniel breathed painfully, speaking under his breath. What a pity. See what a stepmother has caused. Jennifer stood alone on the quiet road, hugging herself as tears fell without control. The street was dark, and the silence grew heavier around her. She stared at the ground and whispered shakily, I have nowhere to go. No one cares. What do I do now? She took a slow step forward, then another. Her voice broke again as she murmured, The only option I have now is to go meet Cynthia. She lifted her bag and continued walking into the lonely street, frightened but determined to survive. Meanwhile, at Christopher Mansion, the sitting room was quiet, but the silence was not peaceful. Victoria and Sophia entered together, smiling with satisfaction as they settled onto the couch. At last, Sophia said with relief, She's finally out. I can't even believe it. Victoria leaned back, crossing her legs confidently. I told you everything would fall into place. This house will be peaceful now. No more problems, no more arguments, no more pretending. Sophia nodded quickly. Honestly, I feel lighter already. It's like the whole atmosphere changed. While they celebrated, Christopher sat on the opposite end of the room, staring at the floor without speaking. His fingers rubbed against each other anxiously, and his chest rose and fell heavily. Sophia glanced at him and frowned. Why do you look like this? Isn't this what we all wanted? You should be smiling right now. Christopher lifted his head slowly, eyes filled with conflict. I thought I would feel relieved. But I don't. The way she looked at me when she was dragged out, the way she cried and begged. I stood there like a stranger. I didn't say a word. I didn't defend her. I just watched. His voice broke and he swallowed hard. She kept calling me father, he said softly. But I didn't answer. I don't even know what I've become. Victoria moved closer and placed her hand on his shoulder firmly. Christopher, listen to me. You didn't do anything wrong. Everything that happened was necessary. You saw how she has been causing stress in this house. She needed to leave so we can all breathe again. Christopher shook his head slowly. But she has nowhere to go. She walked out into the dark with her bags shaking in her hands. She looked terrified. I should have said something. Anything? Sophia stood up abruptly. Sir, please stop making it sound dramatic. She wasn't doing anything here except chores. Why are you acting like she was an angel? Victoria nodded in agreement. Exactly. The only thing we might miss about Jennifer is the work she did around here. And that problem is already solved. Tomorrow we will hire a maid to take over everything she used to do. Someone trained, someone who knows her place. Sophia smiled proudly. Yes, a real worker who doesn't bring trouble or cause confusion. Christopher exhaled deeply and rubbed his face with both hands. Maybe you're right. I just wish it didn't have to happen like that. Victoria spoke calmly but firmly. Christopher, let it go. What's done is done. She's gone now, and we need to focus on ourselves. This house will finally have peace, and everything will return to normal. Sophia walked toward the window and looked outside with satisfaction. Tonight we sleep without noise or crying. This is the beginning of a better life. Christopher looked down again, quiet and heavy-hearted. The room grew still, but regret lingered silently in the air. But on the other side, Jennifer walked alone through the cold, silent night, clutching her bag. Streetlights flickered, shadows stretching across the empty road. Fear and exhaustion shook her legs. But she kept moving. Her voice shook as she whispered to herself. Where do I go now? God, please help me. I have nobody, no one. She wiped tears from her face with the back of her hand. The wind blew strongly, making her shiver. Just then, a group of 3 young men stepped out from behind an abandoned building. Their footsteps echoed across the street. Hey girl, one of them said, blocking her path. Where are you going alone at this hour? Looks like you're lost. Jennifer stepped back, heart pounding rapidly. Please, I don't want any trouble. Let me go. The second guy smirked. Relax, just show us what's in your bag. We're not asking for much. Jennifer clutched her bag tighter. Please, I beg you, don't take it. It's all I have left. The tallest one moved closer. Then hand it over before we take it. Fear surged through her body. Without thinking, she turned and ran, her feet slapping hard against the pavement. Help, somebody please! She cried, her voice breaking. The boys chased after her, shouting and laughing. Jennifer's breath grew thin, her chest burning as she pushed herself forward. Her tears blurred her vision, but she didn't stop. She could hear their footsteps getting closer. Suddenly, bright headlights flashed from behind. A taxi was approaching. Jennifer ran into the middle of the road, waving her hands desperately. Stop, please. Please stop. The driver hit the brakes hard and leaned out the window. Are you trying to get yourself killed? What's wrong with you? Please, let me in, she gasped. They're chasing me. The driver glanced behind her and saw the boys slowing down, hiding their faces and retreating. He unlocked the door quickly. Get in! Jennifer jumped inside, slamming the door shut and curling into the seat. Hugging her bag tightly, her heart raced violently and she struggled to breathe. The driver looked at her through the mirror, his voice softening. You're safe now. Where are you going? Jennifer wiped her tears. Please, take me to Cynthia's place. Do you have the address? Yes, I know the way. Just drive, please. Thank you. The taxi moved forward, leaving the danger behind. Jennifer leaned her head against the window, watching the city lights blur into streaks. Her chest rose and fell slowly as she tried to calm herself. After a moment of silence, a quiet whisper escaped her lips. The only option I have now is Cynthia. God, please let her help me. The taxi continued through the dark night, heading toward the hope she prayed for. Just before midnight, the taxi stopped outside Cynthia's gate. Everything was quiet, and the night air felt heavy. Jennifer stepped out and paid the driver with shaking hands. She stood for a moment, gathering courage, then knocked on the gate softly at first. Hello, please? Is anyone there? No answer. She knocked again, louder this time. Please, it's urgent. After a few minutes, the gate opened slightly and Cynthia stepped out holding a small flashlight. She looked confused and half asleep. Who is knocking at this hour? Who? Her eyes widened instantly when she recognized the person standing outside. Jennifer? What are you doing here at midnight? What happened to you? Jennifer burst into tears and rushed toward her. Please let me in, please. Cynthia opened the gate fully. Come in quickly. As Jennifer stepped inside, Cynthia's husband, Mark, walked into the compound from the living room, rubbing his eyes. Honey, who's at the gate by this time? Cynthia answered quietly, still holding Jennifer's shoulder gently. It's Jennifer. She looks frightened. Something must have happened. Mark approached, shocked. What is happening? Where is she coming from at this time? Are you all right? Jennifer forced a weak smile and greeted respectfully. Good evening, sir. Mark nodded with concern. You look exhausted. Sit down first. Cynthia led Jennifer to a seat by the entrance. Tell me what happened. Talk to me. Jennifer struggled to speak through tears. They pushed me out. Victoria threw my things outside, and my father didn't say anything. He didn't even defend me. They said I am pregnant, but I'm not. I tried to explain, but they wouldn't listen. They dragged me out, like I'm nobody. Cynthia covered her mouth in shock. My God, Victoria did that? I can't believe it. Mark shook his head slowly. How could they do something so heartless? Jennifer continued, voice trembling. I was walking alone. Some boys tried to steal from me. I ran until I found a taxi. I didn't know where else to go. I'm sorry for coming this late. I just didn't have any other place. Cynthia pulled her into a gentle hug. Jennifer, don't apologize. You're safe here. You did the right thing coming to me. Jennifer cried quietly into her shoulder. Cynthia turned to her husband, Mark, and spoke softly. I'm not surprised about what Victoria did. The last time I visited, I was shocked at how badly she was treating Jennifer, while her daughter, Sophia, did nothing, just enjoyed herself, doing no work at all. I felt pity for Jennifer even then. It was clear something like this might happen. Mark nodded slowly, concern heavy in his eyes. I had no idea it was this serious. Cynthia smiled gently at Jennifer. Go inside and rest. First thing tomorrow, I'll go to Victoria's house and talk to her. I won't let this continue. Everything will be fine, I promise. Jennifer nodded weakly. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mark stepped closer and spoke warmly. You're part of this family now. Don't worry, you'll be okay. Cynthia guided her toward the guest room, holding her hand carefully. Come and lie down. You need rest more than anything. Jennifer paused at the door, looked back with tears in her eyes and whispered, Thank you for not turning your back on me. Cynthia smiled softly. Sleep now. Tomorrow will take care of itself. The lights dimmed. The house fell quiet. The following day, Cynthia had taken Jennifer to the hospital early that morning. Jennifer was pale, weak, and trembling. The doctor ran tests to check for pregnancy, but the results were clear. She wasn't pregnant. Her illness was caused by stress and exhaustion. Relief washed over Cynthia. She knew what had to be done, confront those responsible for Jennifer's suffering. Later that day, Cynthia decided she could no longer remain silent. She arrived at Christopher House alone, determined to confront the family. Her expression was firm, eyes sharp, and voice steady. Christopher greeted her cautiously. Cynthia, what brings you here? You need to listen carefully, Cynthia began, her tone unwavering. What you did to Jennifer is cruel, heartless, and unacceptable. You allowed her to be pushed out of her own home while Victoria dictated everything. Christopher shifted uncomfortably. We only acted according to what we thought was right. No, Cynthia cut in sharply. You are not responsible enough to be a proper father if you allow your daughter's stepmother to treat your own child like this. Jennifer is your blood, and you did nothing while she suffered. Do you even realize the damage you caused? Sophia, standing quietly at the doorway, looked uneasy. Cynthia turned her gaze to her. And you've been spoiled and indulged so much that you cannot see your sister's suffering. Watching her struggle while you do nothing is wrong. You have a responsibility as her sister. Stop enjoying your comfort at her expense. Sophia lowered her eyes, silent, unable to speak. Finally, Cynthia's eyes met Victoria's, who stood with arms crossed, her face pale but defiant. And what you did to Jennifer is completely wrong. From today, I am no longer associating with you. Friendship is about care and trust, not cruelty. You've shown nothing but wickedness, and I will not tolerate it. Victoria's lips trembled, but she said nothing. Cynthia's voice grew firmer, pointing toward all three. Do you understand? You cannot destroy someone's life and expect no consequences. Jennifer is a human being with feelings. She deserves respect. You have failed her as a family, and this will not go unnoticed. Christopher's eyes shifted, guilt creeping in, but he stayed silent. Cynthia turned toward the door, her expression resolute. You all need to reflect on your actions. Treat your family with care, or live with the shame of your choices. Remember this, what you did is unacceptable. She stepped back, letting her words sink in. I've said everything I needed. Treat Jennifer with respect, or you will answer for your actions. I will not tolerate cruelty, not now, not ever. Victoria's anger burned, Sophia shrank in shame, and Christopher's guilt was heavy. Silence filled the room, leaving only the echo of Cynthia's footsteps fading. A warning that lingered in the air. Months passed, and Jennifer slowly began adjusting to life with Cynthia. The house was warm, filled with kindness, and Jennifer finally felt a sense of safety. Yet Mark, Cynthia's husband, seemed to notice her more than usual. Jennifer sensed it too. She kept her distance, polite but careful, not wanting to create any tension or hurt Cynthia's marriage. Most of the time, she avoided being alone with him, staying in shared spaces where Cynthia was present. One quiet afternoon, with Cynthia still at work and not yet back, Jennifer was tidying the house, arranging things neatly. The calm of the room was suddenly interrupted by Mark's approach. "Why have you been avoiding me all this time?" he asked, leaning casually against the doorway, his tone insistent. "Do you really think I can't take good care of you?" "I can. I take care of Cynthia every day, more than well. Just let me take advantage of you and build something between us. Stop acting like a child. You're a big lady. You should understand these things." Jennifer froze, her hands clutching a few objects she was dusting. Her eyes narrowed, determination flashing in them. "No," she said firmly. "I can never ruin Cynthia's marriage. She trusted me, and I will never betray that trust." Mark stepped closer, a persuasive tone creeping into his voice. "Come on, Jennifer. I just want to care for you. You'll see, it will be fine. Don't be so stubborn." I said no. Jennifer's voice was stronger now, her resolve unshakable. She began packing a small bag, grabbing a few belongings she could carry. "I won't stay here and allow this. I will not compromise my morals, not for anyone, not even you." Mark's expression shifted from persuasion to frustration. "You don't understand. I just want to give you everything you deserve." She gathered her few belongings quickly while Mark stood frozen, his eyes wide with disbelief. Jennifer moved swiftly out of the room, down the stairs and pushed open the front door. She walked steadily toward the massive gate, her grip tight on her bag. Mark called after her from the balcony above, his voice urgent. "Jennifer, please, just come back. Forget what I said. Just come back. Don't go." Jennifer stopped for a moment, looking up at him, her expression firm. "I'm not coming back. I would rather struggle for a living on the streets than accept what you are offering me," she said, her voice clear and unwavering. Mark's hands clenched, his tone softening. "But I can take care of you. I can treat you better than anyone. Just let me—" "No," Jennifer interrupted sharply. "I can't betray my principles, and I won't ruin anyone's life for my comfort. My path is mine to walk, even if it means hardship." She turned away, opened the gate fully, and walked down the driveway. Mark's voice followed her, fading with distance. "Jennifer, please think about it. Come back." Jennifer kept walking, her head held high. The day was bright, the streets quiet, yet her determination burned fiercely. The daughter of a millionaire now had no choice but to face the streets, to struggle, and to survive on her own, proving her strength and independence. After Jennifer left Cynthia's house, she realized she had no one else to turn to. Life pushed her into the harsh reality of survival. She first worked in small shops, helping arrange goods and clean shelves just to earn a little money. When that wasn't enough, she took a job as a cleaner, waking early and returning exhausted every night. But the pay was too small to feed her. With no other option, Jennifer began hawking on the street, carrying goods under the hot sun, determined to survive despite the humiliation and pain. One afternoon, the sun was burning high above the busy city streets. Cars honked, buses rumbled, and people moved quickly as if time was chasing them. Jennifer stood at the corner of a crowded market road, a tray balanced on her head filled with bottled water and snacks she was hawking to survive. Sweat rolled down her forehead, but she stood strong, refusing to break. She was determined to fight through the life she never imagined she would face. The life she chose rather than accepting. Humiliation back in that mansion. "Cold water, snacks?" she shouted, her voice tired but hopeful. Just across the road, a sleek black Rolls-Royce slowly pulled up. The door opened, and a young man stepped out. His clothes were expensive, his wristwatch glittered, and confidence poured from him naturally. Everyone around paused, whispering among themselves. "That's Andrew Thompson," someone murmured. "The son of the richest billionaire in the city." Jennifer turned for a glance but quickly looked away, focusing on her work. She didn't care who was rich anymore. Life had changed her focus. She now cared only about survival. Andrew reached into his pocket to take out some money as he prepared to enter a luxurious restaurant nearby. But as he pulled out the notes, a large bundle slipped from his hand and fell to the ground without him noticing. He continued walking forward, unaware. The wind blew lightly, spreading the bills slightly. Immediately, a rough-looking boy standing at the edge of the street spotted the cash. His eyes widened. Without hesitation, he rushed forward, grabbed the money, nearly $5,000, and sprinted away as fast as his legs could carry him. Jennifer saw everything. Her heart jolted. For a second, she hesitated, but something stronger inside her. Then she dropped her tray and sprinted after the thief. "Hey, stop!" Jennifer shouted. The boy looked back, realizing she was coming for him, and he ran faster. He pushed through the crowd, trying to disappear between shops. But Jennifer was quicker, fueled by anger, dignity, and the pain life had already beaten into her. "Stop running!" she yelled, gaining on him. Finally, the thief turned abruptly and tried to push Jennifer away, swinging his hands aggressively. "Back off. You don't know me." Jennifer didn't flinch. She grabbed his shirt tightly. They struggled, the crowd watching in shock. The boy threw punches, but Jennifer dodged and overpowered him with surprising strength. People gasped. "Is that not the young girl that hawks water? How is she fighting like that?" With determination burning in her eyes, Jennifer wrestled the stolen money out of his hands and forced him toward the restaurant entrance. The thief tried to escape again, but Jennifer held him firmly by the collar, dragging him forward. At the restaurant door, she shouted, "Sir, excuse me." Andrew turned confused. He stepped back outside, and his eyes widened when he saw Jennifer holding the struggling boy. "What is going on here?" he asked, stunned. Breathing heavily, Jennifer lifted the money bundle. "This belongs to you. It fell when you stepped out of your car, and he took it. I chased him and got it back." Andrew stared at her, speechless. For a moment he didn't say anything. He looked from the money to the thief, to Jennifer, trying to understand how a young lady selling on the street just did what even grown men around them couldn't attempt. "You chased him? Just to return this?" Andrew asked softly. Jennifer nodded. "It's not mine. I don't take what doesn't belong to me." The thief begged, shaking. "Please don't call the police, sir, please." Jennifer released the boy and stepped back. Andrew looked at the thief coldly, then turned to Jennifer. "You are brave and very honest," he said. "Let him go." Jennifer was shocked. "But he stole." "Yes," Andrew replied, "but today let mercy speak louder." He signaled the thief to disappear, and the boy ran off quickly. Then Andrew looked directly at Jennifer again, deeply impressed. "What's your name?" he asked. "Jennifer," she answered, breathing hard. "Well, Jennifer, please come inside and eat with me. It's the least I can do. I want to hear your story." Jennifer hesitated, unsure if she should accept. The crowd watched silently. Slowly, she nodded. "All right," she said quietly. Andrew stepped aside respectfully, guiding her toward the entrance. "After everything you just did, you deserve a seat at this table." Together they walked into the restaurant. The doors of the luxurious restaurant opened, and the quiet murmurs of customers filled the air. Waiters stopped mid-step, watching in disbelief as Jennifer, the girl who had been hawking outside minutes ago, walked in beside Andrew, the billionaire's son. Andrew gestured politely. "Sit, please." Jennifer sat slowly, her hands shaking a little, still confused by everything happening around her. A waiter approached instantly to take their order. "Anything she wants?" Andrew instructed. After the waiter left, Andrew leaned forward, curiosity in his eyes. "So, Jennifer," he said gently, "tell me something. Why are you hawking on the street? You don't look like someone who belongs there." Jennifer lowered her gaze, her voice trembling. "Life changed for me. I wasn't always on the street." Andrew nodded softly. "I want to understand. If you don't mind, can you tell me what happened?" She inhaled deeply. "After my mother died, my father remarried. My stepmother took control of everything and treated me badly. She pushed me out of the house. I begged to stay, but she said I was a burden." Tears filled her eyes, but she wiped them quickly. "I've been sleeping outside, working here and there, trying to survive." Andrew leaned back, stunned. "Your stepmother threw you out, just like that?" Jennifer nodded. "I had no choice. I refused to accept shameful things from someone who wanted to use my situation against me. So I left. At least on the street, my dignity is mine." Andrew was silent for a moment, absorbing her words. His voice softened. "And even with everything you're going through, you still chased after a thief, just to return money that could have changed your life." Jennifer looked up slowly. "If it's not mine, I don't want it. I may be struggling, but I still have integrity." Andrew exhaled deeply, moved. "Do you know how rare that is?" Jennifer shook her head quietly. Andrew straightened and spoke firmly. "Jennifer, from today onward, you are done hawking on the street. You will not suffer again. I'm impressed by your courage and honesty. You're coming with me. You're going to live in my home from now on." Jennifer widened her eyes, shocked. "Live? With you?" "Yes," Andrew replied confidently. "You're too valuable to be left on the street." He picked up the bundle of cash and placed it gently into her hands. "This is yours. You earned it with your honesty." Jennifer covered her mouth, overwhelmed. "Thank you so much." "Come," Andrew said, standing. "Let's go." They walked outside together. The sunlight hit their faces as the large Rolls-Royce door was opened by the driver. Everyone around stared, mouths open, whispering in disbelief. Is that the same girl hawking water just now? Look at her entering a billionaire's car. Jennifer climbed into the car slowly, holding the money tightly. Andrew followed, and the door closed. The Rolls-Royce drove away, leaving the crowd frozen in shock. After a short drive, the Rolls-Royce stopped in front of a huge mansion, quiet and elegant, with tall glass windows shining in the evening light. Jennifer stepped out slowly, still holding her little bag tightly. Her hands shook slightly as she looked around, unsure of what to expect. Andrew noticed her nervousness and spoke softly. "You don't need to be afraid, Jennifer. Just come with me." They walked inside through the main entrance and went straight into the sitting room. The room was large, beautifully decorated, with soft lights and expensive furniture arranged neatly. Jennifer swallowed hard, feeling completely out of place. Rebecca, Andrew's mother, sat on one of the couches reading a book. She looked up as they entered, surprised to see Andrew with someone. "Andrew? Who is this young lady?" she asked gently, closing her book. Andrew replied, "Mom, this is Jennifer. She helped me today in a way I will never forget." Rebecca stood up slowly, confused. "Helped you? What happened?" Andrew explained everything, how the money fell, how the street boy grabbed it and ran, how Jennifer chased after him alone and brought the money back. Rebecca stared at Jennifer, shocked. "You faced a thief by yourself? For someone you didn't even know?" Jennifer nodded softly. "I just felt it was wrong to watch someone steal and pretend I didn't see." Rebecca looked touched, but Andrew continued seriously. "Mom, Jennifer has been suffering. After her real mother died, her stepmother threw her out of the house. She has been sleeping outside with nowhere safe to stay. She hawks on the street just to survive." Jennifer lowered her head. "I'm not trying to beg. I just want a chance to work and live with dignity." Andrew stepped closer, speaking firmly. "Jennifer, you're not going back to the street again. It's too dangerous for a girl to sleep outside with no shelter. Anything can happen to you out there, and you shouldn't be forced to stay with anyone just to survive. You will stay here with us. From today onward, your life changes." Rebecca nodded in agreement. "Yes, my dear. You have a good heart, and we will help you stand again. We will help you get a good job. No more hawking." Jennifer's eyes filled with tears she tried to hold back. "Thank you, truly." Andrew smiled gently. "You're safe now. Welcome home." Jennifer sat slowly on the couch, tears rolling down her face, not from pain, but from relief. For the first time in a long time, she felt hope. Time moved quickly. Months passed, and Jennifer proved herself to be hardworking and disciplined. Andrew and Rebecca helped her secure a good job in a reputable company. Every morning she arrived early, focused, respectful, and determined. Her dedication impressed everyone, and soon she became one of the most trusted staff. Rebecca would often say, "Jennifer, your discipline is admirable. You work like someone who has a purpose." Jennifer always replied humbly, "I just want to make my life meaningful and never waste the opportunity you gave me." Andrew watched her growth closely. The more time passed, the more he admired her strength, humility, and character. She was different from anyone he had ever known. Simple, hardworking, honest, and full of integrity. Over time, admiration grew into respect, and respect developed into a deep bond. After long months turned into years, the connection between them became undeniable. One evening, Andrew spoke softly to her in the living room. "Jennifer, I have something to say. You have become an important part of my life. You're everything I ever prayed for. Strong, courageous, disciplined, and kind. I want us to build a future together." Jennifer looked at him, shocked and speechless. "Andrew, I never expected this. I was only trying to become better." Andrew smiled slightly. "And you became more than that." Their relationship grew seriously and respectfully. After a few years, they got married in a grand but beautiful ceremony. People who once looked down on Jennifer now admired her. She was no longer the girl hawking on the street. She was now the respected wife of a billionaire. Because of her commitment and business mindset, Andrew supported her dream of owning a supermarket. With his help, Jennifer opened one of the biggest and most successful supermarkets in the entire city. Customers filled the place daily, and it became a famous business. A few days after the official opening, Jennifer stood inside the large supermarket, looking at the shelves, the lights and the crowd. Emotions filled her heart. She turned to Andrew, holding his hands with deep gratitude. "Andrew, sometimes I still wonder if all this is real. Thank you for bringing me out of suffering. Thank you for giving me a life I never imagined. If not for your kindness and your mother's love, I don't know where I would have been today. I promise you, this home, this family, this future, I will protect it forever." Andrew nodded with a warm smile. "You deserve every blessing coming your way, Jennifer." She took a long breath. looking at the busy supermarket around her, a symbol of her new life. For the first time in many years, she felt peace. Far away in another part of the city, things looked completely different. Christopher, Sophia, and Victoria sat in a hospital room filled with the sharp smell of medicine and the quiet beeping of machines. Christopher lay weakly on the hospital bed, his body tired from endless surgeries and treatments. His face looked pale and thin. They had spent everything they owned trying to fight the serious sickness that had consumed him. He had sold his company, and Victoria had poured her own money into hospitals and medications, but nothing was improving. Victoria sat beside him, holding his hand tight. "Please, Christopher, be strong. We're going to fight this to the end. There are still 2 companies left. I will look for a buyer for one of them so we can try another operation." Christopher coughed painfully and shook his head weakly. "Victoria, you have spent too much already. You've done more than enough. We have sold almost everything, and nothing is working. I don't want to watch all of you hurt because of me." Tears rolled down Victoria's face. "Don't say that. We are doing everything to keep you alive." Sophia stood by the window, silent, tears streaming down her cheeks. She couldn't believe how fast life had changed. From pride and comfort to pain and hopelessness. Christopher took a long, tired breath. "There is something I need to say. I want to see my daughter. I don't know if I will still be here tomorrow. If I die, I want to at least see her face one last time." Victoria immediately interrupted. "Stop thinking about her. The same daughter you're talking about doesn't care about you. If she cared, would she disappear all these years? Would she watch you suffer like this? Forget her." Christopher closed his eyes painfully. "She is still my daughter." Sophia covered her face, crying quietly. The room fell silent except for the sound of medical machines. Life was falling apart for them. Hope was disappearing. Everything was getting worse. As months passed by, Jennifer began feeling a heavy pull inside her heart. A deep whisper telling her she needed to see her father again. She tried to ignore it for weeks, convincing herself that the past was better buried. But every night it returned stronger, keeping her awake. One morning she sat quietly on the sofa beside Andrew, unable to hide the burden anymore. Andrew noticed the sadness in her eyes and gently touched her shoulder. "You look troubled," he said softly. "What's wrong?" Jennifer took in a shaky breath. "Andrew, I think I need to go see my father. I don't know why, but something inside me keeps calling me back to him." Andrew nodded slowly. "Then we'll go together. You're not going alone." So they packed their things and drove straight to Christopher's mansion. The house that once glowed with pride, power, and wealth now looked abandoned and lifeless. Jennifer stepped out of the car slowly, her heart pounding. She walked to the gate but stopped when she saw strangers moving furniture inside. Confused, she called out, "Excuse me, what are you doing here? Where is the owner of this house?" A man stepped forward and looked at her with pity. The house was sold months ago. The previous owner was battling serious health problems. He needed money for treatment, so everything was sold. Jennifer felt her knees weaken. Andrew quickly held her before she fell. She whispered, "Where did he go? Please, where is he now?" The man sighed gently. "Last we heard, he was taken to the city hospital." Without wasting a second, Jennifer and Andrew rushed back into the car and drove to the hospital as the bodyguards followed. When they walked into the reception, Jennifer felt the air grow tight around her chest. She asked the nurse quietly for Christopher's ward. After checking the records, the nurse pointed down the hallway. "First room on the left." Jennifer walked slowly, every step trembling. When she opened the door, she froze. Her father was lying weakly on the bed, pale, thin, breathing through medical tubes. Tears filled her eyes immediately. "Dad," she whispered. Christopher turned his head weakly, his eyes widening when he saw her. "Jennifer." "My daughter," he whispered. "I didn't think I would ever see you again." Jennifer ran to him, holding his hand tightly as tears rolled uncontrollably. "Why didn't you call me? Why did you let things get this bad?" Christopher closed his eyes painfully and swallowed hard before speaking. "I lost everything, Jennifer. Victoria sold almost all the companies and the properties just to pay for my treatment and surgeries. By the time I realized what was happening, they had already sold nearly everything we owned. In that moment, I felt very ashamed and sorry for myself. Helpless, watching our entire life disappear while I could do nothing. At that moment, the door suddenly opened and Victoria and Sophia rushed in. They froze when they saw Jennifer standing beside her father. Their faces turned pale. Victoria slowly stepped forward, tears already falling. "Jennifer, please, forgive us. We were wrong. Since everything collapsed, life has been hell. We have nowhere else to go. We are suffering. Please don't abandon us." Sophia fell to the floor crying. "We need you. Please help us." You are the only hope we have left." But Jennifer looked at them with cold eyes filled with years of pain. "You both threw me away like I was trash. You never cared how much you destroyed me. You almost ruined my life because of your selfishness." Victoria cried harder. "I know, I regret everything. I am begging you. I sold everything trying to treat your father. Now we are left with nothing." Jennifer turned her face away. "That's not my business. I want you to feel the same pain you made me feel. I will never forget what you did to me." Andrew stepped forward and stood beside Jennifer. Guards followed behind him. Jennifer looked straight into Victoria's eyes and said in a firm voice, "After my father gets healed, he will never remain married to you. You are no longer his wife. Guards, remove them from this hospital and do not let them return." Victoria screamed and begged, holding Jennifer's legs desperately. "Please! Jennifer, please! Don't do this! I will die. Sophia and I have nothing left. Please, I am begging you, just give us one chance." Jennifer pulled her leg away. "Your tears mean nothing to me." The guards dragged Victoria and Sophia out as they cried helplessly. Just after the door slammed, Christopher began to cry quietly. "Jennifer, please forgive them. I know they were wrong, but hatred will only continue the pain. I need peace before I leave this world." Jennifer held his hand tightly, crying deeply now. "Dad, you abandoned me too. You let them treat me like nothing." Christopher nodded painfully. "Yes, I failed you. And I regret it every day. Please forgive me, please." Jennifer broke down completely and hugged him. "I forgive you, Dad." Jennifer held her father tightly, whispering, "You're not alone anymore." Hope returned, and a new beginning began for them both. Months later, Christopher was flown abroad for a major surgery, which Jennifer paid for. Andrew stayed by her side through every second. After long months of treatment, Christopher finally recovered and returned home, healthy and strong again. Jennifer used her resources to rebuild the company he lost, buying back many properties that were stolen. Under her leadership, the company rose again, stronger than before. Christopher watched proudly as his daughter transformed everything he once lost. After Christopher's successful surgery, the family gathered in the new home Jennifer had bought for her father. The living room was warm and bright, the aroma of food filling the air. Jennifer, Andrew, Christopher, and Rebecca sat around the table, smiling and sharing light conversation. Christopher raised his glass with trembling hands. "To family, to new beginnings, and to my daughter Jennifer. You saved me and showed me what true love and courage mean. I am proud of you." Jennifer's eyes glistened with tears. "Dad, I just did what I felt was right. Seeing you healthy is all the reward I need." Andrew leaned closer. "You've earned every bit of happiness, Jennifer. Watching you fight for your father and your family, it's inspiring." Rebecca smiled warmly. "Jennifer, you've brought hope and life back into all our hearts. I'm so proud of you. You've made this family stronger." Christopher's voice shook slightly. "For the first time in years, I feel whole again. Thanks to you, Jennifer, we have a second chance." Jennifer held his hand tightly. "Dad, seeing you smile like this, it's more than I could ask for. Our family is finally together again." Andrew added softly, "Tonight isn't just about recovery. It's about courage, resilience, and the love that keeps a family strong." The evening continued with laughter, small stories, and quiet joy. Christopher, though still recovering, looked genuinely happy for the first time in years. Jennifer gazed around, her heart full. The storms of the past were behind them, replaced by warmth, love, and a new beginning. For the first time in years, Jennifer felt true peace. A few days after the celebration at her father's new home, Jennifer decided it was time to find Victoria and Sophia. She wanted to close the chapter properly, not with anger, but with forgiveness. When the two women saw her approaching, they froze, guilt and disbelief written across their faces. "I've forgiven you both," Jennifer said calmly, setting a thick envelope of cash on the table. "Use this to start something for yourselves. Build a life without causing pain, without hurting anyone else." Victoria's eyes welled up. "Jennifer, we don't know what to say. Thank you. We never expected this." Sophia's voice trembled as she added, "We promise. We'll make something good out of this. We won't waste it." Jennifer gave a small nod, her face gentle but firm. "This is your chance to turn your lives around. Work hard, live honestly, and never let greed or cruelty guide you again." After saying her piece, Jennifer stepped out of the modest building. Her security team and driver were waiting, ready to escort her safely. Victoria and Sophia stood frozen, tears streaming down their faces, watching silently as the car pulled away, disappearing from sight. They realized the weight of her forgiveness and the power of her mercy, a lesson they would never forget. Forgiveness and compassion have the power to restore broken relationships, heal old wounds, and create opportunities for growth. Choosing mercy over revenge brings peace, hope, and a brighter future for everyone involved. Thank you so much for watching this story. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories. See you in the next story.